Lately, auto manufacturers have been obsessing over SUVs and or crossovers. This video is going to be a quick open discussion format. I want to know your thoughts on the SUV and or crossover takeover. Is it good for the world? Is it to be short-lived? How will this impact car culture, if at all, etc.? So the first point I wanted to talk about was how, one, consumers are buying more SUVs despite not actually using them to their fullest capacity. Do you guys agree with me on this? Granted, to be fair, I think the vast majority of us don't buy cars and use them to their fullest potential. I mean, look at Garage Queen supercars or high-end sports cars, for instance. But what exactly is driving this desire to own a SUV? Well, as an outsider who has never owned an SUV or a crossover, I mean, for the most part, people buy SUVs because of one or two reasons. They say that they need all that extra space because they have kids, or they like the idea of being able to haul a whole lot of stuff at any given moment, and they believe that SUVs are safer. Some families exclusively own SUVs, meaning if they had a 2 or 3 car garage, you bet your ass that they would only own SUVs in there. Objectively speaking, most people spend only around 4 to 5% of their lives in a car daily. Of that percentage, how often do you think they're actually driving around more than just themselves or hauling lots of cargo? I think most people don't necessarily need an SUV. Perhaps a sedan would more than suffice, but if you're hard set on owning an SUV for whatever reason, don't let some YouTube kids stop you. After all, it's your money, your life. I said it before, you do you, man. So the second point that I wanted to bring up is how a lot of big auto manufacturers are kind of heading towards the trend of killing off their sedans and or cars, or at least not producing anywhere near the same kind of volume they were once producing. So for the last couple of years or so, many of you have already known this, but Ford and GM have been slowly killing and or phasing out many, if not their entire sedan lineup, and leaving exclusively SUVs and trucks as part of their inventory. Whether you think this is a mistake or not, one thing is for certain: their sales and marketing teams must have clearly determined that SUVs and trucks were the future for their companies, at least in the short term. I wonder what this can mean for us car enthusiasts one day. Like, will these car manufacturers think about killing our beloved Corvette or Mustang, etc.? So the third point that I wanted to bring up is how some auto manufacturers or companies that you would have never thought make an SUV are now making an SUV. Take Lamborghini with their Auris, and even the likes of Ferrari are looking into making one of their own. I'll be the first to admit that I never would have thought a SUV of all cars that I would find sexy until I saw the Auris in person. In my opinion, it still embodies everything that Lamborghini stands for. It still sounds great, looks great, and feels exotic. Still, I find this pretty damn crazy for an exotic car manufacturer that were once exclusively producing supercars and or high-performance sedans. The fact that they're even entering the SUV market should again tell us something. Lamborghini, among other exotic car manufacturers, must have seen an opportunity to garner the attention of affluent buyers that would have otherwise purchased, say, a German luxury SUV. I have no doubt that we can expect to see more SUVs from top brands in the coming decades. And the last point that I wanted to bring up, number 4, would be how auto shows are showing more and more crossovers and SUVs. Please tell me I'm not the only one that has noticed this. Have you guys walked around at your latest auto show and you're starting to see more and more SUVs? I mean, 25 years ago, SUVs were seen as gas guzzlers and big, hulky, heavy machines, and people couldn't wrap their heads around ever owning one. Hell, sales numbers back then prove my point. Just take a look at large SUVs relative to everything else. Far fewer people were buying them in the late 90s up until about the early 2000s. Yet for some odd reason, the whole auto paradigm shifted towards the late 2000s. Going into the 2010s, there's currently sales projections saying that SUVs will make up at least a whopping 50% of all auto sales come this year or into the next couple of years. Think about that for a moment. 1 in 2 car buyers are now looking at or wanting to drive just an SUV. Holy cow! We're going to have a whole lot more big 2-ton plus cars on the road in the near future. So I'll ask this question that's in the title of this video. Will SUVs take over the world? As far as I can see, it seems like a resounding yes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know how you feel about the SUV and or crossover takeover. Would you ever consider owning exclusively SUVs? Again, meaning if you had a 2-car garage, you would only have SUVs. Leave your comments down below and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.